Oh, he's talking. And then there's that mooring line. You may also notice these fish out here with the silvery bellies, the yellow tails, and the blue stripes through their bellies. That's ta'ape, or blue striped snapper. But they're not actually from here. They are from Tahiti. They were brought out here in the 50s for fishermen to catch and sell and eat. However, they don't grow as big or as tasty as they do in Tahiti. So people don't bother to catch them and eat them. And since they don't have any natural predators, they kind of grow into a nuisance. Oh yeah, and there's that school of barracuda off the starboard side. Alright, we're going to start making our way to that second shift now. Let's go over a couple other things you may have noticed. One, the fish are not really scared of us. They're not trying to run away. That's because they don't have legs. Also, we don't look familiar to them, right? So we don't look like a predator. We also don't go too fast in here. Anyone want to guess what the submarine's top speed is?
3.
You got it. Right on the nose. You're very close. 3 knots, 3 miles per hour. It's about the same as that number. So yeah, we are ripping it in this thing. That's why we need those seatbelts. Additionally, you may have seen all these like cement blocks and pieces of rope as we've gone along. That's not from the aforementioned mafia. Those are things that we put down here. That's how we get around. We don't have a GPS on here. We can't just put in ship and head over to the ships. Instead, the pilots, they memorize this entire dive site. They can look at a block or a piece of rope, recognize and say, okay, I recognize I have to follow it this way, I will land right here. They memorize about 6 acres or about 6 football fields worth down here. And finally, you may have also noticed there's not a lot of coral on the sea floor over here or over by those airplane wings, but there's a lot of white sand. That is what's preventing the coral growing, because it needs something hard to latch onto to grow and thrive, right? Now, does anybody know where about 70% of Hawaii's white sand comes from?
Comes from the ocean.
Huh?
Comes from the ocean.
Close, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, we were talking about Waikiki Beach being artificial, right? Yeah, so, okay. So for years and years, I thought they had gotten up to places like California and Australia and stuff, right? Because that's what I always heard. But a guy came on the submarine who actually works in that, and he said, no, it comes from North Shore. Yeah, I had no idea about that. But yeah, a lot of it is trucked in. But the sand, it does come from the ocean, but the original makers of the sand are those parrotfish that I talked about before, those really colorful ones. Because they chew on bits of coral, and they swallow it, and I hate to break it to you, that'd be much nicer. They poop it out. Yeah, they poop out sand. Next time you're laying out on the beach, suntan, you get a little sand in your Mai Tai. I hope you remember the parrotfish and all I gave you. Worked hard on that.
I'm never touching sand again.
No. Don't worry, it's clean by the time it gets to the beach. You're okay. Alright, port side, you'll be seeing the ship first, and it looks like starboard side, you're going to be getting a beautiful view of the Barracuda, super close. Alright. Oh, and there's a turtle! A Hawaiian green sea turtle on the bow of the ship, right there, taking a little nap. That there is a Hawaiian green sea turtle. Or in Olelo, Hawaii, they're called ponen. And don't worry, starboard side, it will still be there when we do your pass. That's because it's made of plastic. I'm just kidding, it's a real turtle. That is made of real turtle right there. Alright, so this ship here, this is the San Pedro. In its time, the San Pedro was a fishing trawler, and I do not like fishing trawlers. I think they are terrible, because what they will do is they take these humongous nets, and cast out the back, sweeping the ocean, just catching anything that everything comes across, which doesn't include only fish. It also includes things like turtles, dolphins, whales, sharks, and it'll drag them for miles and miles until they suffocate and die. And then they'll just toss a carcass back out into the water. It's very cruel, very wasteful, right? That's why it's poetic justice that is sunk down here now in a home to the turtles and the fish and whatnot. Now the San Pedro, it is our newest structure, but you probably saw it's very deteriorated, right? It's probably our most deteriorated structure. This is because we did not get her in very good condition. One day when it was out and about, it actually caught on fire. So the cast and crew, they got out their fire extinguishers, tried to put it out, but they ran out of the extinguishers and the fire was still going. So they were like, okay, what do we have on hand right now that's going to help us? And they looked to their cargo. But you know what they have for cargo? Soy sauce. So they started dumping soy sauce all over this fire. And you know what? To their credit, they did get it out. But by then the damage was done. And they brought it back into harbor and there it sat in the hot Hawaiian sun, smelling of burnt soy sauce and burnt fish, rotting bait, stinking to high heaven. And the local fishermen would actually call it the teriyaki boat. Yeah. When they heard that we were interested in it, they were pretty happy, so they decided to give us a discount. Any guesses on how much we paid for the San Pedro?
24 billion?
Oh, much less. Let me give you a hint. Less than $100.
$1.
Yeah, you got it. $1. We paid $1 for the San Pedro. Could have got that thing at the dollar store. That would have been like $1.50, right? However, we did need to clean her up before we sent her down. That's where the good chunk of change came in. That cost about $325,000. Yeah, we paid $325,000 and $1 to sink a ship. You know, environmental good, environmental bad. We had to clean up all the oil and the paint and burnt soy sauce. Alright, we are finishing our little turnarounds that way. Starboard side, we'll be able to see the San Pedro next. Let me see, what can I tell you about the turtle? Alright, so Hawaiian green sea turtles are called honu here in Hawaii, and when you see a honu, it's considered an omen, good or bad, but most often what I hear is that it's good luck. So hopefully we all have a little bit of good luck today.
Mommy, look at this.
Oh, there's a white tip reef shark off the other side of the ship, over there, swimming around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, swimming behind. Hopefully they'll come back out. Yeah, you can see that distinct white spot on their dorsal fin and on their back fins. Oh, right there. Yeah, going behind the stairs. Beautiful. On the hunt. Well, maybe. They're more active at night. That's when they do most of their hunting. Actually, my favorite fact of all time involves both turtles and sharks. So turtles have been around for longer than the rings of Saturn have been around. The rings of Saturn have been around about 100 million years. There's that turtle again.
See him?
Turtles have been around for 230 million years. Even longer than that are sharks at 450 million years. There were sharks on Earth before there were trees. Oh, beautiful. And sharks here in Hawaii, they're called mano. For any Italian or Spanish speakers, that means hand. But mano is shark here in Hawaii. And you don't have to be as scared of the mano as Hollywood wants you to believe. For the most part, sharks really want to attack dead and dying things. They can sense a heartbeat and they want an easy fight, right? So unless you're in deep water on a surfboard for long periods of time, you don't really need to worry as much about shark attacks. Now, if one does attack you, the good news is, kind of insulting, kind of good, they think you taste disgusting. They will spit you out. Yo, what's up?
Well, it's just like that one lady who got her arm blew off the shore when she was riding waves.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Soul Surfer, right? Yeah, so she did lose her arm. Yeah, but she has come out since then saying like, oh, don't attack sharks, don't hurt sharks. She understands that it's not necessarily that the shark is trying to like kill her. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, in fact, about worldwide, on average, only 2 people die of shark attacks a year. Do you know how often people die of coconuts a year? Like 48. Yeah, people die more often of vending machines falling on them. So shark attacks are pretty low on the list for ways to die. Just like my cousin.
I'm not scared.
Now, I know it's hard to believe, but we've already been down here for like 40 minutes. I know, time flies down here. So we're gonna make our way back to the surfacing area. And as you notice, that means a little bit less coral, a bit less reef, and therefore less fish. But good things to look out for are things like sea stars and sea cucumbers. A cool fact about them is they don't have any blood. They will use seawater as their blood. What's up? Sea cucumber? That's so cool. I'm glad you got to experience that. You know another cool fact about sea cucumbers?
What?
So for some of them, when they're getting attacked, what they do for defense is they eject all their internal organs. They spit them out, and then they'll regrow those organs. All right, so in just a second, there's gonna be a loud hissing noise. That is our bubble, our marker bubble. Were you guys able to see the bubble when you came up? All right, we don't have a periscope on here. We can't see above us. So we're gonna send up that bubble to ask for permission. Here it is. All right, let's listen in to see if permission to surface.
Class 14, copy your bubble tag. Clear, clear to surface. Clear to surface at 6 after.
Copy, 6 after, isolating purple thruster, switching to VHF, flow and air blast coming up.
All right, so as you just heard, we got that clearance to surface. This will be the quickest part of the dive, taking about 10 to 15 seconds. So there's lots of bubbles, it's very pretty. But when we do get to the surface, just stay seated. We'll still need to get the hatches open and the boat hooked up, all that good stuff before it gets to start. So we'll be there in about... Hold on. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and... Ooh, 0. There we are, folks. We made it back to the surface. Give it up for the pilot, Toby. Woo! All right, Toby. All right. So we're going to work on getting these hatches open. If you are sitting next to a hatch, you are the lucky winner of the